What's up guys, it's Naturally and welcome back to another Football Impact video, and this week has been a very interesting week for the likes of West Ham and Everton, who are in big trouble fighting for relegation, and Real Madrid, who somehow or some way got beat by a newly promoted club. Yeah, that's been the biggest talking points of this week, so let's start off with the Premier League. And the big game, Premier League's big game was between Manchester United and Tottenham. Same old, Mourinho plays 10 men the ball, gets the 1-0 win. Tottenham were Harry Kane this team, who was a massive miss in this game because Pep Guardiola called them the Harry Kane team. I don't know, I think it's a little bit harsh because you got Eriksen and Dele Alli and many others. But Man United got the win from Martial, 1-0 win. It wasn't a great match, the game was terrible. Mourinho does the little shush to all the critics who all say to him, "Show my philosophy, this is what I do. You don't like it, go and high hill and do something with your life." But anyway, Man United played better, they were a better team. Actually, it wasn't a great game. 0-0 was going to be the result. But Man United get the win, 1-0 win at home. Mourinho has a really good record at home now. I think they're unbeaten in so many matches now, so you gotta give credit for that. Tottenham, in big games away from home, are not going to win the league because they just do know how you can't beat the big team, big six away from home. I don't know why that is, but Harry Kane's madness to this team. They just had enough in the locker to beat Manchester United. Man United just did enough to win 1-0. Our Manchester team are just keep winning. If an hour 3-2 winning against West Brom wasn't a routine Man United City win, who you could say went Burnley and Stoke, who just breezed teams apart. But it was a tough test against West Brom. Even the first goal from Sané was an absolute belter. The second goal from Man City, for the equaliser from Jerry Rodriguez, was bad defending all around. First time we say that this season under Manchester City. Then they got there and scored like they always do, and then they got the third goal. Then was West Brom got a goal back from 3-2. But Man City had enough to win. But Man City, we all know, because this time last season had the same. Well, then they had 5 points better off than we were last year. But they always have from the likes of August, September, and October. Always have those great months. It's the Christmas months. It's November, December, and January, especially January. We see how good this Man City team is when they play the Christmas fixtures and January. Because if they drop points up, which they could do, because every team does drop points around the Christmas period, that's when we see how good this Man City team is, and that's how we judge this Manchester City team is in the Xmas period. Because they haven't had sort of a big, they haven't even lost a match yet, so they will lose games. Man City, no question about it. People say they're going to do the Invincibles like Arsenal, no chance, that's not going to happen again. But I will say this, there's a long way to go in the season. But they are winning games, Man City. They're still 5 points clear of their arch rivals, Manchester United. But I will say this, there's a long way to go. Great win for Manchester City against West Brom, which they love beating anyway. Arsenal get a routine 2-1 win against Swansea. Well, it wasn't a routine win because Swansea took a lead from, I don't know, you could say horrific goalkeeper from Peter Cech, but it was Sam Lucas who scored a good ball from Tammy Abraham. Then Arsenal somehow woke him up. They went up there and scored 2 goals from Kolasinac and from Ramsey, who usually scores, and then some celebrity passes away. No, it hasn't done so far. Hopefully that never happens again. Anyway, a good win for Arsenal, which puts them only goal difference off Chelsea to get in the top 4. They're not going to win the league this year. Arsenal, they're, for me, defensively, and the goalkeeper not good enough. Next season, I feel like we judge Arsenal this year. If they get top 4, they could say that's a really good season. Swansea, they're not going to beat Arsenal. I know they beat Arsenal before at Emirates Stadium, but that was just once in the blue moon. But I will say this with Swansea. They could go down this year. I think they will go down because they don't score enough goals and they can see a lot of goals. But then the teams at the bottom at the minute are conceding a lot of goals, so they might just stay up. But they've got the games the teams they play, like West Ham and many all those teams down there, is where they judged on. They're not going to judge away at Emirates. They're just not going to win. Chelsea beat Bournemouth 1-0. Hazard gets the goal and the winning goal in this game. Chelsea played really well in this match. I thought they were back to their best again. Morata, had a chance to get the first goal, which I don't know how he misses it. Then they had other chances from like Pedro and Marcus Alonso, but Hazard stepped up. Looks like the Hazard of 2 seasons ago, maybe even last season, where he was so good and so clinical in terms of cutting in, bang, 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 in the back of the net, 1-0. They really had enough in this game, Chelsea. Bournemouth when you're in the relegation zone and you're playing your three best players, and you can say one of the three best players, the foe is injured. Joshua King, who I actually think is a really good player, he's now injured, top goal scorer of last season, and Stanislas also injured, and then the only player and a Phobe as well. So right now they only have one fit striker, and it's Callum Wilson. He's just back from injury, so doesn't look good for Bournemouth. You know, they've got games they have to win next couple of matches, unless they get cut adrift at the bottom. Because right now they're in a relegation battle. But if they do go down, I think Eddie Howe will maybe stay there, because I don't think get the sack, because Bournemouth is amazing that they're in the Premier League. So I feel like Eddie Howe won't get the sack, but I do think Bournemouth might go down this year. Good enough for Chelsea to keep them fourth in the league and still touching distance of winning the league. Then we on the big 6-pointer of the weekend, which was between Leicester City and Crystal Palace. Leicester City have a new manager in Claude Puel. I think that's a really good appointment for them. Yeah, everybody's been saying, oh well, he got West Ham, he was awful at Southampton. Perfectly honest, before Claude Puel took the Southampton job, Mane was sold, the top goal scorer before season 4. Pella was sold. Many others were sold. So how can you deal? I mean, they brought some nice of Nathan Redmond. I mean, you can't compare Pella, you can't compare Mane to freaking Nathan Redmond, because they're not even the same caliber. It's like comparing a bubble to a brick, literally. Well, literally, I'm not saying that the brick, by the way, is Mane. Okay, maybe that's a bad comparison. But anyway, they're going to lose all the best players. Van Dijk might go, because Southampton are still in club. But the fact of the matter is, for me, I think that's a good appointment. I think Claude Puel is a really good manager. I think he's done a really good job at Nice, got them fourth, and could easily got them in the Champions League. He's done a really good job at Southampton. He got them to a cup final and top 8. Apart from, they're never going to break in the top 6. And Everton, who had Lukaku last season, was scoring goals every time. That's a great season for Southampton. So the fact of the matter, he got sacked because he played negative football, even though this season they scored less goals than they did last season. So I don't know if that's a positive, and he didn't sell any players this season. So that, for me, the pundits should be ashamed to even call themselves that. But the fact of the matter is, for me, I think that's a really good appointment. I think he'll get the best of the players. He'll get the best of Jamari Gray, who I thought was excellent in this match. He played him. He looked like he's inconsistent, Jamari Gray, but if he gets more consistency and plays the way he played against Everton, he's going to be a really good player for Leicester. He got Mars looked like good work, and Vardy looks like the good old Vardy we all know. He scored the first goal, which was a basic counter-attack. Everton, for me, were all over the place defensively. The second goal summed up Everton this season. No luck and a lot of bad defending. You know, great ball from Jamari Gray, who was man of the match in this match, and then Kennedy just kicks it over and into the back of the net. You could say it was Jamari Gray's goal. For me, it was an own goal. If Kennedy didn't touched it, it was going to be saved or may hit the post. But now that's Leicester, who I think perfectly fine this season, and they've got the right manager in charge for them. Now on to Everton. Everton, for me, need to go back to basics. And I mean basics, don't go 4-4-2, don't go 4-3-3, don't play 3 at the back, just go 4-4-2. Play 2 strikers up front. This idea of bringing creative midfield players, Jay Ty, Klaas and Sigurdsson, Rooney, don't play them at all, because they're not good enough. You know, for me, they need to go back to basics, Everton. Get some pace in the team. They brought Lennon and Moraz, who actually played really well in the match. You see in the first two, probably Everton's best player in the first half, Ken Moraz. Unlucky to get sent off, unlucky to be taken off at the start of the second half. But you could say just wanted just to keep it 2-0, because it could have been 4 or 5 in that first half. But Everton, for me, they go back to basics. That defence is too old, and he didn't spend any money on with Michael King, who has got injured, for instance, in this match. But they got an old team. They have a young goalkeeper. They have a really young striker in Calvin Lewin, who's never had any Premier League experience before the season, or last season. And the biggest problem at Everton is they now miss Seamus Coleman massively. He's a massive miss to that team. And they've got they're just putting in players, and there's no chemistry, and there's no anything. And for me, Everton need to go back to basics, like I said, and they need to bring Sean Dyche. Now he's been with the job, and he actually has the favourite to get the job for Everton. I think he's the right man for Everton. I think he does everything with, you look at Burnley. Burnley is so solid, they so just know the rules, basics. Everton need to do that. At this moment in time, people say Everton need to find the top 6. No, not doing it right now. They need to stay in the league. And I think they could go down if they do not get a Sean Dyche type manager, because this team, I feel, are on the brink of being relegated. I don't think they will get relegated unless they bring foundation, but they could be relegated. But it's not a great start. They're in the bottom three. They need to do something from Everton or they could go down. As for Leicester, they're going to be fine this season. I think they'll finish pretty much 9th down to 13th is where I think Leicester will finish this. And the last game is Crystal Palace versus West Ham. This game was absolutely awful in terms of defending purposes. Crystal Palace see two of the sloppiest goals you see this season. I mean, they get the ball away twice. Andrew Gray scored a good goal. Chick Ray scored a good finish as well. But at West Ham, same old, same old. When you're 2-0 up, the one thing you do not do, you don't have 6 players bombing forward to score the third goal. Keep it 2-0. You haven't won a game. You haven't won a Premier League game away from one all season. You got a great result against Tottenham in the cup, which I said that was just paper over cracks because that Tottenham team didn't have Harry Kane or Eriksen. I know he played Dele Alli, but he didn't. He looks out of offshore at the minute. He's not really in it. But they didn't play the strongest team, Tottenham, which I'm really surprised because they should win a cup this year. But I said that was just pinning on the cracks for West Ham. But the fact of the matter is, to have 6 players bombing forward into the third goal is embarrassment. Just 2-0, keep it. Just keep it 2-0. Simple as that. Don't need to go for the third goal or the fourth goal. Just keep it 2-0. What do? They go for the third goal, and then Crystal Palace get a penalty, which was a penalty. I don't know what Bonnet is thinking of. He just had to stand there and just do nothing. Just jock him. Don't need to do anything. But he gives away a stupid penalty. Maybe always puts in the back of the net 2-1, and then about 2 minutes to go, West Ham go up forward again. Ball forward, 6 players ball forward again. The wingers go ball forward. The fullbacks ball forward. Then you got Hernandez, who's playing as a winger, which he isn't, he's a striker. And you're playing Ayew up front, and you're playing Antonio at fullback. This dysfunctional team is unbelievable. And then you could blame Antonio, and you will get the blame for it, for not kicking the ball in the corner. But the fact of the matter is, there's 3 West Ham players in the box, so it's not like, okay, I'm over crossing the box, there's 3 West Ham players in the box. He gives it away, but the fact of the matter is, it wasn't his fault, it was the other player's fault. Ayew, Hernandez, and Lanzini all born forward and don't track back because they're walking back. You got Antonio, who's literally just give the ball away thinking what he's doing. And then you also got Mark Noble, and I don't know who the other midfield player is, who's just standing like statues doing, what do we do? And you left one of 6-on-2 situation. Wilfried Zaha on Zabaleta. That is the biggest mismatch you've ever seen in football. He cuts in and he scores 2-2. West Ham deserve what they get because they haven't learned from their mistakes. Then they, for me, are going to get relegated. And I always think, oh, maybe not because they're going to quality. That team is going down if they do not go back to basics. Same as Everton. They are in massive trouble, because they were horrific against Brighton, and that for me is a team. That's not just, like I said last week, that's not a manager sacking. That's a relegation fighting team. They are not good enough. Their players are just a bunch of egotistic maniacs who don't even know what to do down the pitch. And I'm saying this right now. West Ham need to be careful, big time. They went to a new stadium because they wanted to be found in the top 6. They wanted to bring more quality players in the team, but that's an aging team. They haven't brought any quality players in the team. Yes, Hernandez is a good signing, and he's a good signing, but he's not going to be a great signing. They've brought in the likes of, but they're still relying on the same players. They're still relying on Andy Carroll. They're still relying on Mark Noble. They don't have. They get to the stage now where you think yourself, what are you doing? But for me, West Ham, if they don't sack Slaven Bilic, I think Slaven Bilic for me needs to go. They're going down. Simple as that. If they don't sack Slaven Bilic, I'd be shocked if West Ham stay in the Premier League. But no, I'm not having to go West Ham supporters. I hope that you can stay up this season. But for me personally, this reminds me of Aston Villa of 3 seasons ago. And also Sunderland of last season. David Moyes, he was out of his depth at Sunderland, and they were fucking awful. And I think didn't even win a game in the first 10 matches because they were fucking shit. But the fact of the matter is, I'm telling you right now, Slaven Bilic stays at West Ham from now to for the whole season. They're going down. They need to get managers back to basics. Big Sam maybe? Would he go back to West Ham? Don't think so. But who could they get? They have got massive problems. I need to fix them ASAP. Okay guys, let's look at the Premier League table where Manchester City top it on 28 points. And also a 29 goal difference. They're just destroying the league. Man United second, Tottenham third, Chelsea fourth, Arsenal fifth. They stay where they are. Liverpool are sixth, then it's Watford, then it is Newcastle, then it's Southampton, and then Burnley in the bottom. It is Leicester, who with their win get 11th. Brighton with a good point against Southampton will put them 12th. Then it's Huddersfield, Stoke with a great massive win for them, puts them 14th. West Brom, who are sort of slipping down a minute, but they will find under 20 points. West Ham, big trouble and need to go and sack Slam Ballage and do something because that team's going down. And then it is Swansea, Everton, who look like they need to get a new manager ASAP, Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. That is your Premier League table for the first 10 matches of this season. Now guys, we move on to the Bundesliga. And the Bundesliga began. Bayern Munich show why they are the most superior team in Germany with a 2-0 win against RB Leipzig with Lewandowski on the score sheet, and also a goal from some player I never heard of, but he gets a goal as well. 2-0 win against a team they beat on penalties in the cup, which is surprising. He played both at the same time. Anyway, good win for Bayern, which puts them top of the league because Borussia Dortmund somehow couldn't beat Hanover. They got a Hanover, literally. Borussia Dortmund got a Hanover. I can finally use that slogan. I can finally use that phrase. But they get a Hanover at Hanover. Probably drinking too much beer. But a good credit to Hanover. What a season they're having. They're up to 4th. Hanover, they're newly promoted team, up to 4th. I know you're going to say RB Leipzig last season. Yes. But the RB Leipzig are sponsored by Red Bull and also have a lot of money. This Hanover team do not have a lot of money and have an awful team. No disrespect to them. But it's amazing. You know, they scored 4 goals against the Dortmund team. Amazing. I mean, the goals Dortmund conceded. I said last week that manager boss for me does not know how to defend. He just all out attack. A lot like Pep Guardiola, just go all out attack. But the thing is, Man City have world class players. Dortmund, apart from Aubameyang and Lucas Piszczek, and maybe Kagawa, maybe they don't have world class players. They don't. They just don't. I mean, they got so many young players, but they're a young team, Dortmund. I know Man City got young each team. But right now, Dortmund, for me, they were, the first 8 matches, they were bristling teams. Draw, loss. Since they lost to RB Leipzig, it's just wheels just fall. The wheels just keep coming off Dortmund. They were not good in this game. Yes, Dortmund got 2 goals in the match, but it just covered the cracks for me. Dortmund need to work on their defence. They will score goals, but they need to work on the defence. And for me, I don't think I was sort of sceptical. Yeah, they could win the league. Nah, I'm sceptical. I don't think they will win the league. I think Bayern, new manager again, just they're unbeaten now. This may not work for them. But if Dortmund go back to just try, the manager boss gets some, keeps that. He's not a defensive coach, but try at least saw that defence. Then maybe they will win the league, but it's going to be making it hard for them. But good rate for Hanover. They're up to 4th. They're absolutely flying this season. And Dortmund are up to 2nd after a great start. Hoffenheim. I mean, I don't know what's going on Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim, who were 1-0 in this game, just like last week, just like the week before. They don't know how to win matches when they're in the lead. When they're in the lead, last week they were in the lead and they gave away a sloppy goal and they got a point. This week, they were 1-0 up, cruising, and what did they do? They conceded 3 goals against a club-backed team who got thumped last week by Leverkusen. This doesn't feel like it's going well for Hoffenheim, ever since they beat Bayern Munich, I thought, okay, they really are title contenders now. I don't think they're top 4 contenders, so I just don't know how you can go up. But get rid of the club back to get back in the game. They got some really good players like Rafinha, I think his name is, and many other good players like even Eden Hazard's brother, Torgan Hazard, who looks a really good player. But Gladbach are one of those sort of teams that they could win a game, they go on unbeaten run like 5, and then they lose a game, and then they go a game when they can't win a game in 5. They're one of those type of teams, Gladbach. But Hoffenheim for me are in sort of major doubt if they win the qualifier for Champions League next season, because the gap between them and the next Hanover, who you could say are European. You could say they're rivals for the Champions League this year, and Schalke, it's not looking good for them. But Gladbach to get into the Champions League and had to beat these type of teams. It's a good win for them to beat the rivals for the top 4 in Hanover. Speaking of Schalke, they drew 1-1 against Augsburg, and they were also leading this game. And against Wolfsburg, they were also leading this game. And then Wolfsburg got to go back There's a lot of comebacks so far this weekend. And they got to go back and get a point. I think that's a great point for Wolfsburg. Schalke, 2 points dropped. They could have easily overtaken. They could have been easily in the top 4 this weekend, but they didn't because of the goal they conceded. Good, but also good credit to Gertrude, who scored another penalty this weekend, and he looks a decent player, like I keep saying every weekend, but he keeps scoring the goals. He's the only talisman on that team, so he's going to be scouting enough in the January transfer, no question about it. But good point for Wolfsburg to keep them at least maybe a chance of getting finishing in the top half of the season. Leverkusen, who are now making 3 wins in a row, and since they thrashed Gladbach 5-1, they now beat Cologne, who are bottom of the league and still haven't even won a match yet. 2-1, Leverkusen, Bailly looks a decent player, he scored in this game, but Cologne, they didn't get a goal, but I think right now they're going to get relegated, because if you don't win a game in your first 10 matches, you're going down. You only got 2 points and a goal difference of minus 16 or 15 goal difference. That isn't good enough. I think they're going down. They don't have enough going forward. They haven't replaced Anthony Modeste, who's now in China. His goals last season were the only reason why they got European football, and the only reason why I think they stayed up last year. They haven't replaced that, and right now they're getting a kick in the teeth for that. So I think Cologne, for me, are already relegated. But good win for Leverkusen to may have an outside chance of getting Champions League football. And the last game is Stuttgart get a 3-0 win against Freiburg. You could say 2 teams sort of a relegation type match. I don't think Stuttgart will defend relegation this season. I think they're solid, they score goals. Freiburg are in a relegation battle, even though last season had a great season, but they sort of, all their best players were sold, and they haven't really replaced them, the same as Cologne. And that's what happens. You don't replace your best players, ask Everton, you're going to struggle. And give credit to Stuttgart. I think they're doing well this season, and I think they could be but mid-tables where I think Stuttgart will finish this season. As for Freiburg, same with Cologne. If you don't score goals in this league, you see so many goals, you're going down. Simple as that. And they, for me, may just stay up, but they could also go down. They're one of those this sort of level down there. So guys, look at the Bundesliga table, where Bayern Munich top the league for the first time this season. Then it's Dortmund, who dropped in the second. RB Leipzig with their loss against Bayern Munich, stay where they are. Hanover up the 4th. What a season they're having. They're only 1 point, 2 points behind Borussia Dortmund. What a season they're having. Schalke 5th, Gladbach 6th, Hoffenheim who dropped down to 7 after, well, not such a convincing sort of last couple of matches. Leverkusen are really in good form, are up to 8th, Augsburg 9th, Frankfurt in the top 10, and the bottom is Hertha, Stuttgart with their win up to 12th, Mainz, Wolfsburg, Freiburg, Hamburg, Werder and Cologne stay where they are. Cologne and Werder Bremen are only 2 teams in the Bundesliga to win a match. I think Cologne are relegated. Werder Bremen may have an outside chance of staying up, but they have to have the form of last season. Like when they had an amazing end of the season, Werder Bremen, to stay in this league. It's the only way they're staying in the Bundesliga. So guys, let's move on to La Liga. And La Liga this weekend, Barcelona went 2-1 against Atletico Bilbao. Messi, Ronaldo, who was voted the best player in the world, I think footballer of the year this couple of days ago. Messi shows, you know what? I'm the best player in the world. I scored a hat-trick for Argentina to get them to the World Cup finals, and he scored in this game to at least say to shut the Ronaldo-like critics out there, shut the Messi critics, if I can get that word said, critics out there and say I'm still the best player in the world. And he is, because he scored a goal and set up a goal, so you could say he's definitely the guy. Talisman from Barcelona, but at this moment in time when Neymar has now been sold. And Dembele looks like he's definitely getting back into full fitness, but he's not in the Barcelona team yet, but he is trying to get out of the team after on here, and he isn't far away. Maybe mid-November is when he'll get back fit again for the Bell. I wish him best of luck because he's a really talented player. But to go back to the game, Atletico Bilbao, this game was awful. Barcelona had enough quality. Messi's goal and a goal from Paulinho. He's really become a really good sign for them. Really talking to supporters thinking, why did he not do that for Tottenham? You know, he must have been doing something good in the Chinese Super League at Barcelona bought him. But he's played really well this season, so I'll give credit to him for that. But good with Barcelona, keep him still top of the league. And their arch rival and their only rivals at the minute are Valencia, and they keep winning as well as they win 2-1 against Alves, who are pretty much doomed as fuck. But Valencia are second in the league. The best start they've made to La Liga season since the season they won La Liga with Rafa Benitez. What a season they are having right now, Valencia. And I think they may actually get that sort of... They could be the team, because they're not playing European football. And if you ask any team in Europe, you're not playing European football and you're playing one game a week, it's so easier. And I think they definitely will. I think they'll not just finish top 4. I think they could win La Liga this season. They had a cracking start to the season. I wish them the best of luck, because Valencia are a really big football club in Spain. Apart from the 2 Madrid clubs, Barcelona and Sevilla, they're definitely in that ballpoint of being up there. And I really hope them the best of luck for the season. As for Alves, I think they look doomed big time. Now we're on to the shock result of the weekend, which is Real Madrid got beat by Granola. Where the fuck did that result come from? And Real Madrid won up in this game thanks to Isco's goal. Then Granola up the other end thanks to Sturani, who used to play for Middlesbrough. The Middlesbrough fans figured, how the fuck did he not score goals for them last season? What a result for Granola, and that puts them mid-table. Well, not far mid-table. What a result they're having this season. They could easily get top 10. You know, it may happen, but Real Madrid, that defeat has damaged their La Liga title race, because right now the gap is 8 points. And when it gets to that big of a gap, you wonder, is it really going to happen for them this year? The gap's 8, you probably could say 9 with the goal difference, but Real Madrid have to have a great second half of the season, or third of the season, if they have any chance of retaining their La Liga title, because there's a lot of unrest. Zidane's unhappy. Well, Ronaldo's not happy with Gareth Bale. Bale isn't happy with Zidane. Isco is not happy with Modric. Modric isn't happy with Casemiro. It's all kicking off. Sergio Ramos is having to go with the fucking linesman for... it's having to go at the fitness instructor for some fucking reason. So there's all kicking off at Real Madrid. But that win for Granola is a massive win for them. Real Madrid may lose their title race to Barcelona or Valencia this season, because they're in big problems, and they have to get that home form better, and they have to get wins sooner, and they just can't rely on Ronaldo to score goals, and also Isco. They need better players for me, and I don't think they invested any money in it, which is, you could say they made to, because they got Inseccio, so they try and give them a chance. But for me, they didn't really bring a lot of players in last season in the transfer window, and I'm really surprised with that, because I thought they needed an R striker, and they definitely needed an R midfielder. They didn't really do that, and I don't think Benzema's good enough. So maybe next summer they'll probably have to go and buy Harry Kane to get the goals from him, because I don't think Benzema does it for me. But a good win for Granola, a massive win for their football club, a massive scalp in Real Madrid. Real Madrid, big problem. Atletico Madrid drew 1-1 against Villarreal, and their problems at home in a new stadium where Atletico Madrid continues. And they were 1-0 up in this game thanks to who else? Who do you think scored the goal? That's right, Kevin Gamero. He keeps scoring the goals in the season. Villarreal get back in the game somehow, but this is not looking good for Villarreal. Not looking good for Atletico Madrid, because I thought, okay, new stadium. I thought, okay, they kept Antonio Griezmann. Diego Costa is now part, but I know he can't play till January. But I thought, okay, they could challenge for the league this year. I don't think they will. I think they're going to maybe finish struggling in the top 4 this year, because Villarreal, Valencia, and Sevilla are catching them big time. So right now, Atletico Madrid need to work out on trying to get back to the structure, try and get that home, like a partisan atmosphere like they did in the old ground. For me, that's what they missed, Atletico Madrid. But I think they will finish 4th, maybe enough quality to finish in the top 4. I don't think they won the league, but they might finish 3rd, maybe even 3rd or 4th, I think, to finish the season. Villarreal had a great season, and they definitely are safe chances for the top 4 as well. Speaking of Sevilla, they win 2-1 against Leganés, which comfortably puts them in a hunt for the top 4. And I give credit to Leganés, they've had a great season anyway, they're comfortably in the top half. And last game, Getafe beat Real Sociedad, both teams pretty much fighting for 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th this year. Getafe do beat Real Sociedad, which puts them in the top 10. Good one for them. Real Sociedad looks like they're going to be mid-table this year. So guys, look at the La Liga table, where Barcelona top it on 28 points. Then it's Valencia and Real Madrid already 8 points behind Barcelona at the start of the season. Not looking good. Then it's Atletico Madrid, then Sevilla, Villarreal, Leganés, Betis, Sociedad, Getafe. Then it is Levante, Granola, Celta Vigo, Atletico Bilbao. Then it's Espanyol. Then it's Deportivo La Coruña. Then it's Elbor, Las Palmas, Malaga, who get their first win of the weekend. Well done for them. May actually stay up when they beat Celta Vigo, who one of those teams. Celta Vigo, they win a game, lose a game, draw a game. That's just what they are, Celta Vigo. UF Malaga, hopefully that takes to their season. And Alves, who are now bottom of La Liga. And yeah, not looking good for them either. Big time. So guys, moving on to Serie A. And in Serie A this weekend, Napoli won 3-1 against Sassuolo. Dries Mertens, Calderón and Allen gets goals for them. Sassuolo do get a goal, but they should have easily got another goal back if it was a penalty, if the referee somehow did give the penalty. But they hit the bar in this game. Napoli hit the bar and crossbar. Pretty much the rule bar being smashed by both teams. But Napoli continue to make that, they've now got over 31 points now, which is the most in any league by any team this stage of the season. So they're definitely the team to beat right now. Good win for them, puts them comfortably top. And the rivals Juventus beat AC Milan 2-0 thanks to 2 goals from Higuain. Good goals as well to win the game against AC Milan from home. And you think AC Milan, who did get a win midweek against, I forget who they're playing, they did get a win midweek. You thought, okay, they're going to get some confidence going to St. Juventus. Not really. They were poor in this game. Bellucci was suspended for this match. And you totally see why they missed him. It wasn't the same. But Juventus did enough to win the game. I thought the ball was excellent in the match. He set up 2 goals for the Higuain. But Higuain doesn't get a lot of praise from himself. But he did well in this game, scored 2 goals to comfortably beat AC Milan, who are now 8th in the league. And looks like that manager, who I keep saying every weekend should get the sack, he should get the sack. Big time. Because AC Milan, that money spent, should be trading with the top 6. As for Juventus, are now 2nd in the league and probably Lazio. What a season they're having. 5-1 win over Bergamo. They should comfortably beat Bergamo because Bergamo conceded so many goals and haven't got a point this season. But I always talk about Immobile. Is there one striker in world football right now that's better than Immobile? Please, can anybody give me an answer? Because I'm running out of answers. Because this guy is ridiculous. He scored another goal this weekend. It puts him 13 goals of the season. The top goal scorer in Serie A. The Yankees the top goal scorer in Europe, which is unbelievable. And he plays for Lazio. Amazing season they're having. They could get top 3 this year. They could even fight for the Scudetto this year. Because you're a striker who scores goals. They have a decent, and I am right. They have a decent defence. Definitely they could fight for the Scudetto. They had a cracking season, and I think they are definitely dark horses for this Scudetto this year. Bergamo, I think, are rather good. Roma get 1-0 against Bologna. A good win for them, comfortable win for them, which puts them pretty much stay where they are. 5th. Sampdoria beat Chievo 4-1, which looks like they're going to be the 6th team this year. Probably the best of the rest sort of thing this season in Serie A. They've had a really good season so far. Chievo, both teams pretty much fighting for who's going to finish 6th this year. I think Sampdoria have had a really good start and they've got some really good players in that team and some goals in that team as well. And last game, Crotone beat Fiorentina. It was a massive win for them because they were sort of getting in a little relegation battle, but I think they'd be fine. They're sort of one of those teams that will surprise. They always get a surprising result and a surprising defeat, but I think they'll be fine this season. 2-1 win against a really good Fiorentina team who are scoring goals for fun at the minute, but just lacked a little bit of defensive know-how in this game, Fiorentina. But a good win for Crotone to put them comfortably out of reach in the relegation battle. Fiorentina stay in the mid-table, stay top half. So guys, look at the Serie A table, where it is Napoli on 31 points, Juventus are 2nd on 28, Lazio are 3rd on 28. Then it's Inter who play on Monday. Then it's Roma who are 5th, stay where they are. Sampdoria stay where they are on 6th. Then it is Fiorentina who are 7th. AC Milan 8th. Torino 9th. And Atalanta are 10th. And the bottom it's Chievo, Bologna, Udinese, Cagliari, Crotone, Splat, Sassuolo, Genoa, Verona, and Benevento are the only team in the league, the top 5 leagues, to not score a goal, to not win a game, to not have a point. They look doomed as fuck, and they look like they're going to be joining. They look like they're going to be in Serie B next season. So guys, we're on to the last league, Ligue 1. And in Ligue 1 this weekend, PSG beat Nice 3-0, comfortable win. No Neymar, no problem. He was suspended for this match, but they didn't need him. Cavani scores, I think, 2 goals in this game. I lost count of it. I think he scored 2 goals in this game. and comfortable win. They won 3-0. They should win. Nice didn't really have a lot in this match. PSG had too much quality for them. Monaco, their only rivals I feel PSG have this year to win for the Ligue 1 title this year is Monaco. They get a 2-1 against a decent Bordeaux team, and they played well this game, Bordeaux, and Falcao was missing from Monaco. But Maicon, like I said a couple weeks ago, he needs to step up. He's the only player in that Bordeaux team that can score a goal, create a goal, and make a goal. Because when Bordeaux lose, when Maicon does not play well, Bordeaux don't win. And when Maicon does play well, they win or get a point. And that's something in this game. Maicon didn't have a great game, and Bordeaux didn't win. Bordeaux didn't get a point. But I think Monaco just did enough to win the match with a 2-0 win, comfortable. 2 good goals as well. But Falcao, their talisman, was not in this game. I don't know if it was injury or suspension, but it looks like it was just a minor knock because they want to be in the to get fit for the Champions League, which is a must-win game against Besiktas midweek. So definitely, good win for Monaco to at least stay in touch with PSG. Marseille, who are now sort of trying to fight for the Champions League last spot, get a 1-0 win against Lille. And Lille, who looked like is a young team. They sell their best players every season, and the biggest problem that Lille team is, and I'm saying this, is inexperience. And there's no inexperience. They've got so many players that don't have enough quality and got no experience. And right now they're 19th in the league. They could go down. I don't want them to go down because I really like Bielsa. I think he's a really good manager. But even he's saying, "Come on! I mean, this team isn't great enough. I need somebody to help me out here." So, but a good win from Marseille. A good goal from Santon from Turban's cross. It looks like he's the only guy apart from Turban scoring the goals or creating the goals. They don't win Marseille. So Payet, who I just think right now isn't good enough. I said that Payet times. Payet is not good enough. He's not a good player. I'd be shocked if he's in the France squad for the World Cup. But a good win for Marseille to at least still be in touch with Lyon in the Champions League. Speaking of Lyon, who get a 3-0, we get a 2-0 win against rock bottom Metz. Thanks to 2 goals from Fekir, the talisman, of course, the man who scores the goals, creates the goals, and the captain of the team. He's become a massive focal point to that team for Lyon, and I really think he could be, if he has a great season this year, I think he won't just be staying in Lyon and getting a new contract. He could be going to bigger and better things. Just like I said, went to Arsenal, and that's you don't want to see Lyon sell all the best players. But I think Fekir could easily be at a Premier League club, a Serie A club, one of the big clubs in Europe, because he's got so much talent and so much quality to be, and he looks like he's fitter and better and leaner than he's ever been. And he said he's playing the best football he's ever played in his whole career, which is really great to see from a really good player. But as for Metz, they look like they're going down. They look like they're doomed, and they can't stop seeing goals, and there's no goals in that team. So they look like they're going to be in League 2 next season. So guys, let's look at the last league table this week, which is Ligue 1. PSG topped the league on 29 points. Then it's Monaco, who are second, just touching distance behind them. Then Lyon, who had a really good start to the season, with only 1 point behind Marseille, who are 4. Nats, who got a draw this week, but they're still in touching distance, are 5th. Saint-Etienne are 6th. Caen, Bordeaux, Montpellier, and Toulouse run at top 10. At the bottom is Gano, Alger, Rennes, Dijon, Troyes, Armens, Nice, Strasbourg, Lyon, and Metz. That is your Ligue 1 table after 11 matches this season. So guys, then the football impact for this episode. Hope you guys are having a smashing day, cracking day, and amazing fucking time. Please like, subscribe, and outro.